Hello, everyone. Welcome to this week update on our instruments. We'll be touching on DXY, Euro USD, NZD USD. We may touch on, of course, we're going to touch on gold. We may touch on JXY and Eurusd JPY. Those are the instruments or commodities that I do here. Now, where are we now? This is DXY 4-hour time frame. Let me quickly switch to daily time frame, where I don't need to switch to that. We are already, it should be like a repetition of what I've been doing. So we already know that my position, as per, are we going to go up one more time? That appears to be fading. That appears to be fading, and I told you what levels you are going to check for that. Saying that price had broken this level. Okay, maybe I should quickly, let me see if I can zoom in. This is not allowing me to zoom in. Okay, let me go to the daily. Now, going to the daily, let me bring out my instrument to see where we are. Now, we see that where we are now, okay, I've marked these levels to see where we can have a return to the upside, that once we pass this level, that we are coming, we may likely come here. And I said that I don't see this one holding the price. I see price break below this level, if anything at all. If it doesn't break below this level and we see reaction around this area or this area, if you should see reactions between the current level and here to the upside, then it's going to be a correction of the whole move down and not to the upside. I said that, then I said that once we break 90, so have we broken that 90? The price seems to be right on that 90. So there has not been any much movement from here. So if you take from A, the origin of A to the end of A up here, we are still at that 90. And 88 here, 90, right on that golden yellow. We're still at that 90. So with that said, are we going to turn up from here or not? So we are going to see what price is trying to do. Now, even on the daily, you can still see the structure clearly on the daily. And one thing we know about Elliott is that if something is developing into an impulsive fashion, then you must be able to identify what is impulse and what is a correction. So this is clearly an impulse to the upside, and this also is an impulse. But when you look at this, you can see that this is a first move, and this one is corrective here, and this is another move, a correction here, and we have this. So we are here now where we are seeing most likely a wave C to the downside of this move. If you take this move after this wave B, wave C to the upside to give us an extended flat here, we see this as an A and a B, and a C will give us A, B, C. And so we are seeing the C wave to its completion. So the first move and a correction, and we can see this move of the leg of the last C, because wave C can also be divided into A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever you want to call it now. So we are seeing it as a possible A, B, C, or a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the downside. So we are seeing this correction now. If we take this as 2 correction and we are taking this as a 4th wave correction, then we'll need one more impulse to the downside and not a correction. An impulse to the downside to complete this for us to have a possible correction of the whole move from here down here to the upside. So let me turn to the 4-hour time frame. So my perspective and what I'm looking at has not changed. It's only that there's not been a movement, a desired movement. Now, so far, we are seeing this as the first move here, like I said, on that day time frame. This is like a wave 1 or A, and A, B, C of a B here. Now we are seeing this as a C wave, or the last wave here. So looking at this wave also, we see this as 1, 2, and this is like a 3. The 1 here is the fourth, of course, not as long as what we are seeing here, but of course, it's big enough to give us a fourth. So, and I believe that these A, B, C here, these had completed that fourth wave, because now we are seeing a break to the downside. So this had completed the fourth wave, and we are seeing a break to the downside. So in this break to the downside, of course, we know it can extend, to 161.8 or a bit more when we, but what are we doing here now? So this is the first move, and I believe this is giving us like a correction, a complex correction of the ending structure. That is what I see, a complex correction of the ending structure. So if we see this as a first impulse, and we see this as the move, a correction, a corrective wave within that move. So we need a clear impulse like this, because this is impulsive to the downside. We need a clear impulse like that, the downside. So this, we have not seen that clear impulse. You must pay attention to what I'm saying here, because the structure has to be completed. We can see a clear impulse to the downside here, and all these have been corrective. You may want to see that this is an impulse. The impulse must be able to break the structure to the downside. It must be able to break structure to the downside. So we are not seeing that, and it's not looking like that. So you may say this is this like a 1, and this is like a 2, and is wave 2 over. If wave 2 is going to be over, we need to break this. We need to break this, and we're yet to break it. So once we break, because this move here up and down to this point is still like a 1 and a 2. So if we break these, then we will say that we are within a wave 3 structure of 1, 2, 3 to the downside. So we are yet to break that support. We are almost breaking it. So we are yet to break that support to say we are in wave 2. I'm teaching at the same time here. Now, a couple of things are possible here. This may be beginning of that impulse, because this may just be a wave 2 correction in the middle of the ending structure as a 1 and a 2. So this may be an A, probably a B and a C here, or it may still be continuing. This may be an A, B, and a C here. It could be anything, but we still need a clear impulse. So what I'm saying is that we need to break down. Now, in an attempt to break down here, because I don't believe that we are in wave 3 yet, or wave 3 is still unfolding, because wave 3 may start from here. But again, we have to look at what we are seeing here, an impulse and impulse to the upside. So, of course, we know wave C can be an impulse. So wave C can be an impulse of the correction. So if wave C can be an impulse of the correction, so we can now see that this may be an A, B, C of B, and this is a C, giving us a running flat here of that wave 2. So this may be beginning of what? Of wave 3. So that's what I can see. But again, what we clearly show is that once we don't break this resistance here, because price may still be involved in a very complex, more complex correction to still go up and take this to the upside, maybe break this without breaking this. So a break up here smell doom. A break out of here will smell doom. So, but anything is still possible. That's what I'm trying to show us here. You can still see this as a possible A, B, C, or B, and a C, which is an impulse, a clear impulse. And, you know, in this being a C structure of B, so you can say it gave up an impulse. So like A, B, sorry, A of B, this is the first A of wave 2, A, B, then the C of B will agree to be an impulse. So once we do that, of course, we're going to have a major C, which is this one, which also will look like an impulse. So this strongly, you know, makes us suspect that we may have finished the correction of a wave 2 here as an A, B, and a C, and that we are coming down as a wave 3. So this may just be 1 of 3, 2 of 3, and this one is developing. And before you know it, it's going to be a clear, maybe an 100 extension minimum to the downside. And once we have that, we are still going to have one more correction and one more drop. So it looks incomplete, really. So what I'm still seeing that we may have a correction. So once we complete this correction, probably breaking this or not, we may take a sell for one more impulse. And after that one more impulse, we may have a small correction. The last impulse, we may turn up to do a whole correction of this to the upside at 61.8 or whatever. So for now, this is a place we don't want to see price break for now to the upside, while we are trying to make this move and negotiate more to the downside. That is what I can see. Now, if we now turn to euro dollar, we turn to euro dollar, I believe it's the same thing that we are seeing here, which is slightly different. And, you know, when we are looking at the higher time frame, we see it more clearly. But in the lower time frame, the correction that you will expect, it's so diverse. And that's why you have to be very careful. You have to ask yourself, do you want to really trade on the micro time frame? Because you're likely to be losing money if you're not careful. You must be an expert. You must actually be on your trade and look at structures very closely on those micro time frame, because before you can be a successful scalper, you know. Otherwise, scalping, you know, on the lower time frame like this, when you are within this kind of a correction, will make you lose money, because you see a movement, a sharp movement down here, up here, down again, up here, down again. People will be losing money here. So you rather, when you're within correction, you rather take your time and, you know, you follow what structure that is building up. Also looking at the lower, lower time frame, that's okay. For now, we are not going to break the low of this. So the same way, we have looked at DXY. So with this one is a 1 and a 2, and a 3-1, a 3-2, and probably we are finished with 3 here. And in as much as this one is seen as a wave 2 here, we are seeing this also as a wave 4 here, and we believe that this is an ABC of wave 4 may have completed just the same way, we saw on the DXY, and that we are seeing this now as a possible completion of one of that ending structure. If this is a ABC of 4, one of an ending structure, so where we now see this as a possible A. Because if you look at this on the lower time frame, on the much lower time frame, when it built up in a flash, that from here, price went up sharp, came back down So that was probably ABC structure of a 2, so a 1 and a 2. But of course, a 2 developing and is not completed. And that's why we are still having this complex correction in the middle. So this may be an A. Then in the B structure of that wave 2, we see an A of B, B of B, and a C of B that looks like A of B, B of B may look like a zigzag to give us a C of B here that turned up to be like an impulse. Then the last C came down. So indeed, if this is the last C, to now give us an A, B, and a C here, which looks like an impulse to the downside, then we don't want us to see price break this low. We don't want us to see price break this low for us not to continue to have structure of the third wave to the upside. So in that case, we now say the limit of our extension will be from here, the origin here up to this point, then this is the lower limit, at least to look for an 100 or 1, 2, 3 extension to the upside to complete a wave 3. So once we complete a wave 3 and we see a clear impulse like this on this other side, a clear impulse like this on this other side, which will be the third one, second impulse, at least we expect a smaller correction again and the last impulse before we say, okay, we want to have a deeper correction to the downside. And I want to believe that you understand what I'm trying to do, to try to analyze this micro wave here, that we need this as a 1 and a 2 and at least 100 extension of 123 to the upside for the second impulse, and that second impulse will be like the third wave. Then we should see a small correction again and the last impulse for us to say, okay, we want to correct from here to the last wave up there. So we still believe that we are going to take this we are going to take this I. Let me show us the I that I think we're going to take. So I believe we're going to take this I, the I that gave us this extended flat, this one here. So we are going to knock it off. And so after we knock it off, then we would begin to align ourselves if we're going to go more, because they can easily turn the heat on and convert what you are seeing here. They can convert it to still be part of wave 3. And that's the beauty of it. And so you must know the direction of your of the move. So because they can easily convert it to an impulse again. If the dollar begins to grow and lose its mojo, then the price will just continue to fly up from there. So all you can do is you are trailing and you are watching for that reaction. If this is going to give us a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the ending structure to turn down or not, then if we break above that, then we know we want to sell. Having said that, then we go to Nzdusd USD. It's the same scenario that we are seeing across board now. Nzdusd USD. Nzdusd USD. Nzdusd USD also, we saw that reaction, and all we can look for on Nzdusd USD now, it's, these are negated what we are taught probably could play out. We are taught that this will give us an A B, which rightfully turned here, and this could have grown to be a C to the downside like this to give us probably an extended flat for a bigger move to the upside. But eventually, it didn't turn out to be like that. They gave us this, and when you saw this as a possible A, B, and like a C going to come down to the downside immediately, and that's how to actually manage account, how to manage your trade so that you don't be on the losing end, because they can change it. When you saw this move that broke the daily structure, that's the daily support here, I broke it to the downside, And that's how they can fool anybody, and it looks big enough. So this went to the upside, and they created another, price action as if they're going to have a C to the downside here. See what happened, they went up. So immediately you saw this move to the downside, and this one is going up. All you can do, depending on, and that's why a good entry is very, very important. All you can do is to break even before this happens. Once you break even, if it's going to knock you out, it's going to knock you out on a very small loss or a small profit. A break even, nothing to lose. Now, this one had broken the top again and to give us this. So I believe all we can expect here now, it's a correction for more upside. And we are going to continue to follow what is going to develop also on Nzdusd USD. At this point, you don't want to leave your trade unguided with stop loss. So for now, this is a low that we don't see price breaking. But for us to have this, a big move, a correction, a big move, this is a bullish sign. So we're going to have probably this correction. Once it completes, without breaking this, it may break it or not, but I don't see it break this low. I think it's going to go up. Let me see. Let me see if there's a tendency for it to take that low. I don't see it take that low. I don't see this taking the low. I do not see it taking the low. So I believe it's going to correct. Once it completes an ABC correction, this may be an A, this may be a B, and the last C is coming to the downside, and that's where you look for your buy again. So to go to the upside, that's what I think we're going to get here. So on gold, what do we expect on gold? To explain gold to us, let me go to the monthly, weekly time frame. I believe we are on wave 5 of wave 3. We're on wave 5 of wave 3. So now we saw a big correction here, which ended here. So now we are now been ascending to the upside. So I believe this is wave 1 and this is wave 2 here. Is wave 2 here on the weekly, and wave 3 is going up. We need a correction that is similar to these, at least similar to these here, to give a wave 4 before we go to the last, more to the upside to finish up that 5 before we see a big move to the downside. So what we are saying now is that I expect that we let me try and so so if you take this, so we need this here. We need this here. So we may get a reaction around this 72740 area or 37 area for us to have this correction. So we need that big correction. So this is seen as a wave 1 here and the wave 2, and this is of 5 because 5 of 3. So 5 of big 3. So this is 4 of big 3. We are going inside of 5 of big 3. We have not finished with 3. So we are inside the 5 of big 3. And and inside that 5 of big 3, this is the last of the 5 of big 3, and this is 1, 2 of it. We're going to do a a 3, to do a 4 and a 5. So once we finish that, we are done with wave 3. So after being done with wave 3, we're going to now push a major 4 to the downside and also go back up as a wave 5 of the major structure. So that is what we are looking at. I believe I've helped you to understand what we are doing on gold. So this is 1 and this is 2. So I don't know. It has broken a 161.8. It has broken. Okay, let's see what it has broken now. From that blue back to blue. So yeah, it has broken a 161.8. This is a 2. So we may get to a 2. A 161.8 is knocked out. And this is at the levels, a 261.8 and a 3. So I believe that any moment from now, it may actually coincide with DXY. Once we're going to have a major correction on DXY, so it may coincide here. I don't know if you can get here, but of course, we may be finishing up with 5 of that big 3 between here and here. But I don't think we're going to walk up straight to this point or to this point. Now, I don't think we're going to walk up straight to this point and this point now. I don't think so. So for now, this is an area 161.8 has told us is complete already. So this is an area where we should be expecting. If you don't get reaction here, then we should look here. But this looks like a strong area to get a reaction. If not, we are coming up to a 3,000 to get that reaction. But this is where to look first to get that reaction, at least something similar here. So assuming we're going to get that here, then we should be looking at this. If we get that reaction here, price may be coming to this level. We may see price around that level of 23.79. So that's price may be working actually deep before the next impulse. So that's what, if we get reaction here, price may be coming here at 23.80 before we go more to the upside. So you must not miss that once you see the ending structure. Now, but I'm not saying we have to see that reaction first, but in attempt to look at what is building up here itself, because if this is 1 and this is 2, of course, you saw that this is clear. A break of this to tell you that this is a 2. So these are broken to tell you that that is a 2. Now, within 3, we need to confirm that there's going to be a break here. We need to see that break here, but you won't see it early. We need to see that break here to confirm that we are coming to this point. That is what I'm saying now. But in the immediate structure here, let me turn to the 4-hourly now. Let me turn to the 4-hourly now. In the immediate structure here, looking at the 4-hourly, so we can see what I'm referring to that we are expecting us to have. Is it going to load or not? Okay. So this is what I'm expecting us to have from here down to this point, something close to that. So now in the immediate structure, going up, this is a 1 and this is a 2 of this immediate structure, not the structure of 3 now, okay? So because we have to look at the structure of the 3 of that building up, and the low of it actually is here. So that's the low of it here. So there's an A, B, and a C. Then for more upside. So if that's the low of it there, then if the first thing that you will know, if you get a reaction here, to know that it's not the fourth wave of this one that is playing out, but the fourth wave of the bigger one that is playing out to come here. So what you will see is, if you take this as a 2 there, and you're going to see a reaction here, the first thing is that we're going to see a break here. So we're going to see a break here. You should be expecting a break here. And if you get a break here, it's not going to stall here. It's going to come to this area because we are doing a bigger fall. Now, let's pay attention. Let's now pay attention to this wave, because after this correction here, A, B, C of correction here, we need to pay attention to this wave. So we are seeing this also as a possible 1 and a possible 2 in that substructure. So a possible 2 in that substructure. So with that, let me use purple. So in that substructure, so let me find something there. For those trading gold, yeah. For those trading gold, we are trying to look at that substructure now. So in this substructure now, so we see this as a 1 and a 2. And are we 3 completed? So let's see. Are we 3 completed? Back to this point. Now, of course, yeah, this looks like a 3 completed here. This one has completed at least what is 3. So we may be seeing reaction here around this area. So this area, because you have 161.8 and you have 2 here. So this looks like a strong area that we may still push up to this point before we come down. So this looks like a strong area. Looking at the substructure here also, this one has ticked 3 here, and it may just get to around 2744 or 2736 area. So now this looks like a perfect place that we may see that reaction of a much bigger fall. It looks like that. So if that may look like that, are we seeing a wave 4 developing of this substructure now? So if indeed it is, it should not break this structure. Let's see. And that's the beauty of wave analysis. You have to look at this bigger structure to scale down. So yes, exactly. That's like 3.8 here. You shouldn't take this for now. It shouldn't take that for now. Let me go on purple. Now on purple, so a break below here signifies that we are going to test this area of 2378 or 79. So a break below this area. So this is an area that we must not break for now. So now we are going to look at this structure here as a possible wave that is going to end soon. If we go on a 1 hour time frame, it's still bullish. Now, on a 1 hour time frame, we are almost getting there. On the 1 hour time frame, we are going to look at this structure in itself again. So that's how to do it. We look at this as a possible 1, a 2, and a possible 3, and a 4 of this wave. So if it's a fourth of that wave, from this low here up to this point, we are looking at the green area where we begin to see light that we are actually going much deeper. This will be a green area for price. That will be a green area for price. So price testing this area and breaking it means that we are trying to push more lower, and probably we are going to take this out and come to this point. So we need that. We need that now. We need that now. So try to now, let me zoom for us to see. But I believe we are testing, we may be doing it with 4 because now we have broken this to the downside. We have broken this to the downside. This may be an ABC of the first wave A, and this may be going up as a B wave. We may be coming down again as a C wave to take this and for a last push. It's not impossible with what I'm seeing now. There we can see a structure break here on 1 hour time frame. You can see a structure break slightly on the 1 hour time frame. That may say this is A, B. This is an A, B, C of a B and a C, and this turning up to give us a major B for us to turn to the downside. We may just get that. Once we don't take this to the upside, we may be coming up, coming down the more to break up. But the thing is that we expect price, or better still, if we look at the price action here, what kind of price action are we getting here? Because we may have finished this correction. Yes, we may have finished this correction here ourselves with a small breach here. We may have finished that correction. I think we have finished that correction, so we may not be coming down. And if price present us opportunity of coming more down, then we'll take it. So this is an A, B, C, or B, and this C is A, B, C. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This had finished itself. This is going up. So what you can expect is look for a correction to go up now. Look for a correction to the downside to go up. I don't think that price is coming to break this. Anytime price now come here, we are going deep. So we may have finished this 4th wave here, and we may be seeing on the 4 hour time frame, and for gold lovers, just doing that, giving an extra here for gold lovers. So we may actually be doing the 5th wave to exit here. To exit here, to look for possible reaction, to sell to this point. And that will be how many pips drop. If we get it, then let us be too, if we get that, that will be like about 350 pips drop. If you get that, about 250 pips drop to the downside. And is it 350 drop or 3,000 drops? Yeah, yeah, about 3,000 drop, yes. About 3,500 drops to the downside. Yeah. And you may get that before the last push to finish that wave completely. So that is what I can see here on gold. On JXY, because I'll soon be finishing this. On JXY, what do we see? JXY. On JXY, let's go to the daily time frame to see JXY clearly. On JXY now, we are seeing that these, okay, these are given at the bottom here, and we are pushed for a wave A, and wave A may be about completing itself to the upside for us to have a B wave and a C wave. So after ending this structure, this is a bigger correction now to the upside, and this is like a wave A. So what we are going to expect here on the daily, this may be A. After this A here, then the B wave in the middle of this mini correction itself is like an A, B, C. So I believe that these had finished A here. And in terms of the B wave here, this may go up, come more down for more upside. For more upside, this may be going up to finish a wave C. So this may just be an A move after this move, A, B, and this may have finished a C for more upside here. And that's what I'm seeing here. This may have finished a C, and so this is likely going to break the top again before we come down. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say here. Let me see how I can help you, because we're going to take that down. So that's a move. That's another move. And this another move, which may have ended here. So what I see here now, this is an A structure. There is a bigger A here. Then in this correction here, an A structure here. The B structure here is an A, B, C to finish a B structure here. And this is a C to give us a running flat. This is a running flat to the upside now. So it's a running flat because it's a running flat. So how do I label this? I may label this as a big A, a big A, So a big A here. I may label this as a big B. I may not be too explicit on USD JPY. I think you can take it there yourself. So this will be a big B. So inside of this big B now, we now begin to see a smaller A. Then a smaller B. Then a smaller C. Maybe a smaller C here. So what I'm saying that is that this has not probably finished itself now. We're still seeing something unfolding here. So we might see this as A, B, and a C that will push this A more to the upside. So what to expect here, if you look at the manner of correction here to the B, that's about 127, and it gave us a running flat. With that kind of reaction to the upside, it looks like a running flat. Yes, a running flat to the upside. So the running flat to the upside we have to be very careful the way this is going to go to the upside. It looks set to break more to the upside. It looks set to break more to the upside. And this is a very bullish sign on JXY. It looks like a very bullish sign on a JXY, which may run riot. We have to be very careful because these may actually go all the way to do this. So we must begin to count the internal structure. We may go all the way to do this. You have to be very careful. You may go all the way to do that. Finishing a C. Around that area. You have to be very careful. You may just do that. You may just do that. You may just do that, but I don't want to do anything for now on here. I want this structure to finish itself because I expect these, a sharp, these and these, except they turn it down from here and they begin to go down, except that. If they should break this to the upside, tendency is there for us to get here. So I don't want to do anything. I want this thing to finish itself and begin to break structure to the downside. So we may have this A, B, C as a bigger A, then we now have a bigger B to the downside before we now go up again. So anything is possible here. I think I'm going to rest my case here with JXY and begin to see what is going to unfold here. And if it's just a correction to sell, we will know if this had finished itself here, as in the structure down here, and this, but it looks that we're going to break the top. So with that, I've come to the end of today's update, or this week update. Happy trading.